Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have to bear with me for a brief moment whilst I check that we are, in fact, live and broadcasting. I don't want any more mix-ups or anything else going awry here, ladies and gentlemen. So I will, as quickly as I can, check that for you. Now we are indeed live. I can see myself there. Perfect. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of KEW Live. After a few weeks off, we have a real slobber knocker coming for you. I say weeks off, it's been a little while since I've got to do some recording, but for you, the viewers at home, it is of course the next following episode. And here we go, cracking straight into things with a fatal four-way to help decide the KEW's next hardcore number one contender. This then a fairly stacked lineup as we see the Ploughman making his way down to the ring. The Ploughman, of course, a dangerous athlete, and last time out in one of the many lost episodes that we seem to be having here in the KEW's issues with the recording equipment. He did, of course, manage to defeat the KEW's champion Benji, thanks to the assistance potentially of Mark, as he stormed down the ramp and assaulted Benji before he even managed to make it into the ring. And the Ploughman will look to take that form and that motivation forwards with him here, and if he can sense the opportunity to perhaps get into the hardcore bracket, take the hardcore title and push forwards in the KEW, he will absolutely revel and enjoy that one. It will of course be the first time he's been sent into the hardcore bracket, and Miss Kasuj previously having sent Miss Tash to try and do his dark work in this bracket for her, but now she's seen the failures of Miss Tash, and the success of the Ploughman has sent him out on his own ventures to go and secure the first bit of real silverware for the coven, if you like. And she will have to see then if her man can prevail here. These a real challenging test of stamina and of endurance to see who's got the longevity to outlast everybody else when the weapons start coming out in the ring. And here is a man who's afraid no shame or fear of getting the weapons out from under the ring. He's a man who knows how to mix it up in the KEW. He's of course had more chair shots than children these days, but he is a man who the fans love, the Irish king himself, King Daddy, making his way to the ring here, ladies and gentlemen. The Irish flag emblazoned on the back of his cape as he makes his way through the ropes. He of course has had dealings with the torpedo in recent weeks that he's been proving a difficult customer with. After giving him the deadly pile driver, we'll have to see here if he gets the pile driver out for anybody else in the KEW. And now we'll have one half of the tag team that is the Tubby Moggies making their way to the ring. We do of course have the other half in this event here, and we'll have to see what the big fella makes of that, having had his tag team partner in the ring going for the same belt as him. He'll feel a little bit cautious and aggrieved, and maybe they'll look to put some differences aside and push their own individual careers, put their tag team to aside for one night, push their own individual careers. We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen, once I say once the hardcore objects come flying, the steel chairs, the tables, etc. It is hard to tell what will happen in the ring. Making his way down to the ring then, the KEW's sexual magnet that he is, as he shakes his hips there. You can see the women in the background in the front rows aghast and forlorn at the sight of the jiggling cheeks that they love to endure into their eyeballs, ingrained if you will, as much as they can. Up to the top rope he goes then, lifts the arm high. He'll be looking to put himself back into the contenders role then for the number one contender here, and taking that hardcore belt, a belt of which of course he lost to the Assassin only a few short weeks ago after the last main pay-per-view. Rests against the ropes there then as his tag team champion, or tag team champion, former tag team champion partner still current tag partner. James the Cat makes his way to the ring. We'll have to see how their relationship endures during this one. James the Cat has struggled for form in the KEW, but he'll know this is a fantastic opportunity, and he's like many a wrestler in the KEW, wants to have some silverware or bronze as it is around his waist, and will be looking at the Assassin and thinking that he's a potentially beatable man in the KEW. He is a formidable hardcore champion, though he's not relinquished the belt so far and has only had one challenger, but this one then, of course, none of these four in the ring now have made the H&V Steel briefcase match, so of course they will put themselves in the frame for a potentially big match at the next main pay-per-view, which might see the Hardcore Championship on the line. We'll have to see how much damage gets done before that time to these men in the ring, and I don't want anyone sustaining any injuries by winning the match here, ladies and gentlemen. And James the Cat, though, will see it as a great opportunity to push himself and really take on the hardcore division and try and tackle it headlong if he can. He knows if he can win here and then knock off the Assassin, it might push his star a little higher back up the KEW rankings. He is, of course, a former KEW champion, James the Cat, the only man in the ring who's had the main gold around his belt. Of course, the Plowman won the briefcase last time around at the H&V Steelbook match, but he since then hasn't been able to rise to that high, lofty heights that he did during that time. Of course, cashed the briefcase in last year, you'll remember, trying to take on the Shinigami, and it fouled horribly at his face. As you can see here, the tag team partners so far delivering the damage to King Daddy and the Plowman, and immediately James the Cat went to try and take on the BFG, but only bounced off the tummy, and the BFG let him free then and went and got a chair from outside, and King Daddy knocks a chair out of his hands as the Plowman now goes after him, and a shot to the back there. And you have to be careful with that chair in the ring. An electric chair drop there from the Plowman, dangerously close to that steel chair. First bit of ordnance in the ring via the BFG, as the BFG now going after his tag team partner, is whips out the legs there, and the Plowman launches the chair into James the Cat's face. He is a dangerous customer, the Plowman, and the BFG breaks up the first cover of the match from the Plowman there. And the Plowman now going after James the Cat with a furious chop, back to his feet, and a snap DDT on the Plowman sends him down to the ground, as he now goes after King Daddy with another DDT there, delivering the damage to the heads of the KEW's wrestlers is James the Cat, as he goes under the ring now for perhaps the second bit of ordnance. He's got a stop sign there, and it's just knocked out of his hands by the Plowman. He almost got it square in the face, and the swinging neckbreaker there from the Plowman. And the hockey stick taken straight to the back of King Daddy on the outside, and King Daddy now clotheslines the BFG, and that hockey stick spinning wildly in front of the KEW fans as the Plowman takes the opportunity to worship his dark gods, worship those same gods that Miz Kasuch does now. Look at this, James the Cat bashing together the heads of the BFG and the Plowman, perhaps using his tag partner as a potential weapon there in itself. He knows the big fella has a big firm noggin, as now the BFG is sent into the boards there, those padded boards around the outside of the KEW's arena. Now the Plowman has a stop sign here on the outside. And he gives it to James the Cat square in the mush there, and it looked like he was going for the BFG as well, trying to take the tag team out, as down goes James the Cat again, and he's been given the stop sign well and truly here in the noggin. And the King Daddy is in a bad way in the ring with the big fella as well, and the BFG taking him to task, as it were. They are, of course, two people who have no love lost, particularly really the King Daddy. You'll see himself as the sexual magnet of the KEW, being the man who has the most children, and the BFG, of course, has many a thing to say about that. He is, of course, the first sexual magnate of the KEW. And look at the power on display here from the BFG. He's doing squats now with the Plowman, as he drops him firmly on his back there. And now the two tag team partners go after each other. It's the Tubby Moggies taking on one another as the BFG clotheslines James the Cat down, switches attention again to the King Daddy in the ring. And James the Cat now targeting the BFG, but he shoves him down to the ground and says, just because you're my tag team partner, I don't think I'll go easy. And here comes the table from the Ploughman, slid in under the ring as he comes flying. Oh, snap DDT there from King Daddy, almost sent the BFG straight on top of that table. And James the Cat now has a chair as the King Daddy goes for the crossbody there. And oh, James the Cat too slow with the chair as it sent skittering out of his hands. Picked up now on the shoulder by King Daddy, who chokes him on the front, on the top rope there as the BFG is given the hush puppies by the Ploughman. Oh, and the big kick there to the face of King Daddy, and he rolls to one side, and now James the Cat scoops up the Ploughman, carries him into the corner, slams him into it, and tosses him down and crosses the folded table there, a firm landing. You can see the BFG looks like he's got a cut on his forehead there, perhaps from the hush puppies of the Ploughman there. Maybe he's put some sort of spikes in the end of it, and here he comes, the King Daddy with the guitar. Oh, he's played an Irish folk song straight across the back of the James the Cat there. The BFG not happy with that, saying you do well to take my tag partner out with that, but it doesn't like James the Cat knows what day of the week it is. Stumbling and fumbling around in the ring whilst the Ploughman now gets a few furious chops in on him, and the BFG now is going after, it looks like he was going after James the Cat, but I think he's gone back out of the ring and thought better of it, so he'd best not piss off his tag team partner too much. And look at this, now he's got the guitar there, perhaps he's going to go and play some sweet music as James the Cat goes for the cover, and King Daddy breaks it up swiftly there, sliding in to get James the Cat off. James the Cat off the ropes now, swinging DDT, and King Daddy's down in the centre of the ring, and James the Cat, I thought there, might look to take advantage of that. King Daddy now back to his feet. Oh, gives him the knee firmly up the arse there. That's not where you want the knees to be going, straight in the butthole. And oh, James the Cat delivers the double knees into the BFG's stomach there, and he rolls out of the ring. That'll give him indigestion later as a swinging net breaker there from the Ploughman sends James the Cat down to the ground, and the King Daddy's pulled out the ladder, but oh, I didn't think he'd seen the BFG coming, but maybe he saw him on the big jumbo screens, gives him the ladder in the face, and now taunting him on the floor as James the Cat is in a real spot of bother in the middle of the ring here. The Ploughman going to the top rope, he's got something devilish in store for him. Off the top rope to the frog splash, goes for the cover. Can King Daddy get in to break it up? 1, 2, King Daddy looked lost and confused there, and oh, now he boots the face off of the Ploughman on. The BFG whiffs his clothesline completely, and King Daddy goes straight back after him immediately. And the Ploughman now a little hit to the back there, and he's going to go looking for something potentially on the outside. Maybe he's making his way round to that guitar. He does indeed pick it up. He's got a dark tune. He's ready to strum on the brains of James the Cat, we think. No, here he comes. He misses the opportunity to connect with the guitar though, and James the Cat tells him to sit down on the floor, and he was going to get the guitar. I thought for a minute there he's taking his time there. You can hear the guitar being rattled around in the ring there as the BFG sends King Daddy down to the floor, and now James the Cat in a spot of bother as he gets a big slobbering kick in the face. He's down and outside the ring, and the Ploughman now clotheslines the BFG onto the outside. He might look to put King Daddy away here, the little kick here, and is he going to stomp him into the next week, I think, into oblivion? Rolls around, the big shot to the back of the head and delivers a face straight into that folded up table, and here we go. He could stomp him on the table here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, he spins it around as King Daddy and screams to the crowd. Now King Daddy might be able to put him in the ascendancy. Not on the table, King Daddy. He's got hold of the Ploughman. No, he just missed it there as he gave him the pile driver. Hooks the leg and goes for the cover. 1, 2, the BFG was in. He saw King Daddy going for the cover, and King Daddy now with a big crossbody there. King Daddy will feel aggrieved, and like he had it wrapped up there, gave the Ploughman the pile driver there, and you can see the Ploughman doesn't like he knows what day of the week it is. He's probably got several concussions here. He's whipped into the corner, and King Daddy goes immediately after him and look to finish him off and inflict the damage, slams him down on top of that folded table. James the Cat's down on top of the table, and now King Daddy and the BFG square up once again in the ring, whipped into the corner. James the Cat gets a furious chopping, goes for the kick. King Daddy with the low blow. James the Cat not having any more children. King Daddy with the cover. 1, 2, 3, the low blow seals it. The dirty low blow from King Daddy. He pulls it out of the bag right at the end. He'll be the man going on to go for the next Hardcore Championship at our next main pay-per-view. Gives the V for victory to the crowd. And look at this. His many children will be very happy with him indeed, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be a sun out at our next main event at the pay-per-view now that King Daddy will be there. His children will be packing the arena. What a match, ladies and gentlemen. What a way to start this week's KW, and move into our second one for the evening then. And this one, well, we saw the Shinigami only last week. He was in the, of course, nobody saw it except me, in the three-way for the number one contenders match. Couldn't quite take advantage, of course, of the BFG. Sorry, not of the BFG, of the Big Bird and the Yeti in that one. But here, squaring off with the Mystery to try and push himself back up those KEW power rankings, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see if he's able to hoof himself back up here and get a win over the Mystery. The Mystery, of course, booking his place in the ladder match for the HMV briefcase by defeating the Firefighter in a 2 of 3 event. He is a man not to be overlooked in the KEW. And the Shinigami will see him as a fierce opponent that he'll have to deal with here, ladies and gentlemen. He'll have to not take this one too lightly, as we've seen the Mystery can pull off upsets when given the opportunity to. He is a man who's got the deadly submissions, of course, but will the power and the dark arts of the Shinigami be able to overpower him? Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find out very shortly as the Shinigami makes his way down and over the ropes here. Raises his hands aloft for the KEW faithful to adore him. He looks fired and motivated, does the Shinigami, looking to put last week's mishap behind him and really push on. The Mystery, though, will of course want to push himself back up the KEW's power rankings as well, and he'll see this as a fantastic opportunity to do just that, as he gives the crowd his double V to victory and says, "This is my time. It's time for the Mystery, time for the man who is behind the mask to rise up the KEW, take that HMV briefcase, cash it in, and steal myself the championship anytime, any place of my choosing." Giving the double V's to the crowd here then, showing off for them. And he is ready and focused to go. Here we are then, the pair of them locking horns immediately. The Mystery gets the best of it and takes him over to the ropes. They are two wrestlers who haven't particularly met too much together in the KEW, and the Mystery already choking the Shinigami on the top rope. I'm not so sure it's wise to anger him immediately like that. And look at this, he's got to choke him again, I think, on that middle rope. Has him now. Oh, drags his head right into that top rope there as he rolls away, and that a big shot, the knee to the head of the Shinigami, and the Shinigami will not be impressed with his slow start to this one. The Mystery is a man who, when he gets on top, he can really push forward in the KEW's power rankings and really try and push himself to get into the matches a bit more. Stomping the knee now then. He is, of course, a man who feeds on the momentum that he's able to build up in the ring. Big uppercut there, sends the Shinigami down, and we've seen many an opponent in the KEW take the Mystery far too lightly, ladies and gentlemen. They seem to think he's some sort of joke, potentially, and he has, since their kind of reputations come into him. Perhaps it's the Jester's boots that he wears with the big question marks across his nice tight spandexy suit. Perhaps it is from that people don't take him seriously enough, and that he's able to build these fast momentums in the match here. But he works quite well around the ring as a technical wrestler. He's able to put the damage in early doors, and then gets one of his submissions locked in. His double arm suplex there, sending the Shinigami down firmly into the KEW's matting there, straight on in the corner. But now the Shinigami with an elbow here and a big crossbody there, and perhaps that sort of explosive attack is just what's needed from the Shinigami as he tries to chop the Mystery, but it doesn't really work. The Mystery bounces him off the referee, but he blocks the hit there. The referee looked terrified for a minute there, saw into the eyes of the Shinigami. It looked like he drops his man on the ropes now. Mystery firmly and quickly back to his feet, spun round and given a big knee drive there, straight into the guts of the Shinigami, and you can see the Shinigami looks like he's slowly So will slow up to his feet there and slow to recover from the initial damage. Don't mind the Mystery, and I did say that if he gets the damage in early doors, the Mystery, then he looks to maybe put things away very quickly. Oh, massive backdrop there though from the Shinigami, sending him down to the ground. Goes for the hit there and misses a big double chop, it looked like there. Now scoops him up and slams him down. Big slam there as he stares straight into our commentary table, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, when the big man stares at you like that, a little bit of poo does leak out. He's a very intimidating man in the ring, choking the Mystery now as he ends up in the bottom corner, and he's going straight after him again, choking the life out of him here. Not happy with the way the Mystery started the match, choking him with the ropes, and breaks it there. And you can see the ladies in the front row there, they're not happy with the Shinigami, going for the pin now. The Mystery gets a shoulder up just there. The Shinigami had a look at the referee there, perhaps telling him need to count faster next time. Gets hold of him. No, gives him a Demon's Edge there. Hooks the leg now. 1, 2, 3, and that put it away. Goodness gracious me, ladies and gentlemen. The Shinigami made it look easy in the end. Started slow and then exploded out of the ranks here, and you'll see he'll take that as a great bit of confidence there, especially heading into the HMV Steel briefcase match. The Shinigami, of course, will meet the Mystery again in that one, and he'll be now saying to himself, can anyone actually defeat me? Can anyone stop me? I am the Demon Incarnate, and I will be taking that HMV Steelbook briefcase home with me. We'll move into our next match for the evening then, ladies and gentlemen, and this one, a little bit of a curiosity here. Mark demanded to the CEO that he would get a match with the number one contender. The CEO said to him, you're not on my level, sunshine. I'll give you a match that's more befitting of your talents. And here we are. He's been given the Tange here, ladies and gentlemen. Tange, of course, has seen his stock go up and down in the KEW. You can see here Mark and Tange in the ring and ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, here's Benji, and look at this. He's just he's taking his time and having a good long stare at Mark in the ring here. Mark and Benji, of course, have been at each other's throats tooth and nail for weeks in the KW. Mark has promised to end the career of Benji anytime and any place the KW champion wants to get in the ring with him, and Tange will not like the fact that Benji is here watching the match. And you can see the steel chair on the outside. Perhaps that's the one that Mark would have brought to the ring with him. And Benji's going to take a very obvious seat on it, it appears. And you can see Mark completely distracted by Benji there. We'll have to see if Tange is able to get the upper hand between the two men here. Tange, of course, was on something of a rise in the KW before losing last time out against the Yeti. Maybe that wasn't the last time out, that might have been the time before, ladies and gentlemen. He, of course, won against the BFG in the last match, in our last one, to book his place into the briefcase. And, of course, these two men will meet in the briefcase match there. And you can see Mark already getting the upper hand a little bit as he spins around the Tange. And like I said, the Tange had been in great form until he came up against the Yeti. And the Yeti, who is one of the most informed wrestlers in the KW, will feel aggrieved that he had to draw the Shinigami in the lottery that was to get the HMV Steel briefcase matches there. As Mark dives off the top rope and drives the butt straight into Tange's face. Goes for the cover now. 1. Tange kicks out pretty swiftly there though at the 1. Slow back to his feet as Mark gives him a little boot to the face now. Now off the ropes goes Mark, and a big crossbody there. Mark putting on somewhat of a display here for his competitor on the outside. He, of course, is aggrieved and feels like Benji stole the title from him. He has demanded not a shot particularly at the title on here. Tange and Mark exchanging blows. Mark blocking that one from the Tange. A few furious hits here, working the crowd. And Benji's seen enough, and look at this. He's in the ring and clotheslines his man straight down to the ground. The referee calls the match off here, and Tange, he is aggrieved and angry that Benji has stormed in and stolen his opportunity to get a vital win that was needed. Now look at this, Benji, he's got to take it to Mark. Big drop kick there. The KW champion, ladies and gentlemen, has had enough of Mark's empty threats, as he's been calling them. The two of them have been in a war of words on social media. Mark, of course, threatening to give Benji a taste of the steel chair that he brings into the ring with him, and Benji, of course, saying to him, anytime, any place, little man. And of course, Mark, so far, the two of them have been at odds and have had nothing but assaults here in the KW on each other. in the last few weeks now. Mark has got Benji tucked up. Oh no, what's this? Oh, he's given him a package pile driver. Oh my goodness me, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's a new one from Mark. He's looked here. He said he was going to look to try and end his career. Gives him the package pile driver. And Benji now, and all kinds of bother here, slips out of that one. You've got to wonder if Benji knows what day of the week it is, though. He must be fearing a concussion here, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be aggrieved and happy that he's not going to match at the next main pay-per-view on the cards currently. Because goodness gracious me, it looked like Mark was going to try and polish off Benji there, but he's come out furiously here. Perhaps it's the anger of having that package pile driver that he was given there from Mark. The pile driver, of course, a banned move, as he now goes for a big face buster out of the corner, trying to deliver the concussion back to Mark himself. Hooks him on the arm now and trying to work the hands of Mark, maybe break the wrists so he can't hold those steel chairs or do any more of those vicious moves. And now he's going to the top rope. Here is Benji. And Mark slow back to his feet. Benji poised up there and ready. Diving drop kick there, straight to Mark's face. Mark is down, big stomp on the hand and an elbow drop straight in the kidneys there. You can see Benji shaking the arm a little bit there. I'm not so sure he's not feeling the pain himself. Gets Mark back to his feet. Oh, but Mark with a big uppercut there. Now gets hold of Benji, spins him around. Oh, and a big drop kick to the face there. The spinning heel kick right to the chops of Benji. Picks up the champion to the face. Big hit there as well. Goes back after him. Big kick to the guts. And now face busters him down onto the floor. And Benji here is in a spot of other swift back to his feet though. He feels no pain. And oh, drop kicks Mark right in the chest in the corner, winding the life out of the little man. That surely got to have. Swings him around now. Swinging neck breaker sitting down there. Mark springs back to his feet in no time at all though. Perhaps it's the new skeleton powers he's got. Now Benji off the ropes, jumping around. Oh, he misses the drop kick as well as Mark missed his drop kick. It looked like in the corner. And Mark now goes for the ankle lock here. He's got a submission move of his own. Oh, Benji boots him off though in the face. He's maybe trying to make Benji break the ankle there. And now, oh, Benji gets it locked in. Is he going to try and break the arm of Mark? Wrenching on the arms. Mark, of course, has nowhere to tap. He's refusing to give up, even though he's not saying, I'm going to give up. Benji nearly broke the arm or pulled it out of the socket there. You can see the little man holding the arm. Big drop kick to the back of the head. And Mark is in bad way here. Rolls out of the way now. Hurricanrana. A last valiant effort, perhaps, from Mark to try and get some sort of momentum in this brawl and assault that's just ensued here, ladies and gentlemen. Rolls Benji over and a shot to the spine there. A nasty cheap shot. Picks his man up here. Rolls him over, sends him down to the ground in the centre of the ring here. Now hops over the ropes here, ladies and gentlemen. A little wave to the crowd and says, when you're ready, let's Benji get back up to his feet. Gives him the kick to the guts and face busters him down again here, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if Mark was feeling froggy for a minute there and then thought better of it. Now off the ropes here, big crossbody sending Benji down into the middle of the ring as Benji takes the opportunity to roll out under the ropes here. Mark over the top rope. No, won't let him have any sort of breather there, sending him down to the floor with a crossbody and rolls him over again, and another cheap shot right to the spine of Benji. Picks up the KEW champion, but Benji blocks the kick there. Gets a furious kicks in now. Furious explosive kicks, and then gives him a double knees to the chest as the referee calls it off. We'll have to hope that Mark hasn't there busted a rib. Goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. What an explosive finish to that match. We'll have to see there if Mark is, of course, injured or not. Ladies and gentlemen, Benji, of course, on the mat, holding the ribs. And what will the Tanj make of it? He will have seen it as a great opportunity to push his stock up in the KEW there, taking on Mark the Magnificent, and for it to be interrupted immediately by Benji almost. The match barely got going before Benji was in the ring to deliver some punishment. And, well, goodness me, he will not be happy with that, the Tanj. He will have seen that as the opportunity lost, and he'll be demanding recompensation for that one. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, of our next match. We have the tag team champions, the safety men themselves, taking on the CEO and the hardcore champion, the Falcon and the Eagle. It will be a hard fought one, we think, ladies and gentlemen, and they will be going at each other. They, of course, are not friends at all, to say the least, the safety men and the Falcon and the Eagle. We have, of course, seen the safety men struggle for form in the KEW, whilst the Misfits have been on the door knocking for the KEW titles. We'll have to see here. We, of course, know that the the Misfits will get their opportunity to have the shot at the tag team titles during this next main pay-per-view. So we'll see here if the safety men can get any sort of momentum up for that one. Here they come then, the Falcon and the Eagle, the Hardcore Champion, and of course the CEO, who is the #1 contender and will be coming for Benji's belt when he sees it fit and appropriate. He's already promised, of course, he's not going to go for it before the pay-per-view because he wants to see if he can win the HMV Steel Put briefcase to be the #1 contender, and the man with the briefcase is a smart man, of course, the man whose business acumen has led to the rise of the KEW as it is now, ladies and gentlemen, and we have him to thank for many things in the KEW. His ability to oversee everything that's gone on so far this year is one of them. And they are a dominant force, these two, in the tag team division. And we'll have to see if they can beat the safety men here and put themselves in the frame potentially. He will be fuming secretly inside that he's not a double champion, that the Assassin will be thinking the same too. He'll be saying, hurry up and win your title, big fella. Once you've got that belt around your waist, we're going for those tag titles again. Here we go then, immediately the Assassin straight out and after the firefighter. The firefighter is one of the slow starters in the KEW. Rolls him over in a little shot to the spine there. Now a big stomp as he's working his way around him here. Picks up the legs. And double leg drop straight in the crotch of the firefighter there, ladies and gentlemen. Picks him up slowly back to his feet, and the firefighter now with a fisherman suplex there of his own to try and get some momentum back in this one. Rolls him over now and picks him up. Big reverse suplex there. The power on display from the firefighter. Whips the Assassin into the corner. Now gets the tag in to the big fella. Off the ropes he goes and down to the floor, and the massive elbow right in the back there. The Assassin though straight up, only to get a uppercut there, and a hip toss for his troubles. Using the momentum of the big fella against himself there was the Assassin. And there's a shot to the arm as well. Picks his man now back to his feet, and the kick to what looked to be the shin area. The big elbow to the face of Andy there, and the big drop kick as well sends the big fella down. Looks like you can see there a little close-up of Andy, a bit of blood coming out. Perhaps the Assassin caught him with some of that extra garb that he has on his arms. Caught him flushing the top of the temple with it as the firefighter now goes after Atomic Andy, immediately telling him to get to his feet. He's giving him all sorts of grief on the floor there, telling him to get up faster than he did. Andy now rolls out the way, gives him the big clothesline there. Couldn't quite get hold of him off the mat though. And now look at this, the power on display from the CEO as he slams Andy face first into the KW's matting. Andy though, the big size 12 right to the chops there, now squeezing the life out of the CEO. Furious elbow shots from the CEO there, and the big clap around the head. And the clothesline driving Andy down to the ground. Look now, the firefighter desperate for the tag, but the Big Bird says to him, no you don't. Rolls over him, the crocodile like roll, and the furious slams down to the ground, and Andy quickly back to his feet though. Perhaps he bounced off the tummy too many times there. Spins around now and gives a shot straight to the CEO's face, slamming him in the corner and tossing him to one side and taking control of the match. Gets hold of him and whips him into the same corner as his tag team partner now. I thought he might look to go for the tag there, but the big elbow and the massive boot sends Andy skittering away. And now look at this, he's showing off to the crowd, and Andy dives and gets the tag in to the firefighter, only for him to get Clobbersaurus straight down by Big Bird immediately as well, as he's caught in the corner with the two tag team men in the ring. Slam down now from the firefighter. Big drop kick there from the firefighter. Furious hit there from Big Bird as well. The two of them on the outside. Whip back into the ring. Goes the firefighter, and Big Bird now going after Andy on the outside. Lifts him sky high, and the firefighter going after the Assassin. And we're up to a 4 count here, and the referee doesn't know who to look at. The pair of them are going at it in opposite corners. Up to a 5 as Andy is delivered down to the outside of the ring, and up goes the Assassin. And drops on his spine there. And surely the referee's got to restart the count here. Oh, the big clothesline there from the firefighter. He's seen the firefighter out of the ring now, and I think he's restarted the count. Yeah, up to a 2 count. And here the firefighter, power on display with a reverse suplex there onto the CEO. Of course, the CEO and the firefighter renewing an old acquaintance there as the firefighter lost his KEW championship to the CEO. Furious chops from the firefighter here. And the CEO now jumps quickly back in top. Oh, a big backdrop there. Up to a 7 count. Both men back to their feet. Whip down on the outside. The CEO's down on the floor. Has he got the speed to get back up? Up to a 9 here. And he's charging back towards the ring. Up to a 10. And there's the count out. As the firefighter slams the spine onto the floor here. And the safety men get a much needed win heading into the next main pay-per-view here, ladies and gentlemen. Showing off to the crowd here, the tag team champions needed that victory. Neither one has been in form. A count out as it was. The CEO perhaps deciding he wanted to save himself, and it wasn't really worth his troubles there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why they're getting a shot at the BFG there. That's very peculiar indeed, ladies and gentlemen. But what a decent episode of KEW Live. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Join us next week when it'll be our last one before the next main pay-per-view, and we'll have to see what explosive action happens there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.